Academy up. He didn't even have full saturation of drones at his third base that entire match. And I feel that was a mistake. I don't think ZerO is going to make that mistake here. Definitely not after ever seeing that. Actually, already going for his mineral only at the 3 o'clock and adding in a production hatcher as well. Just keeping those Marines inside of Flash's base with those Mutalisks. Making Flash question whether he wants to move out or not. Flash already at this point does have Weapons 1 and does have Stim range upgrade like as well alongside. But Mutalisks have Carapace 1, so ZerO is going to be playing relying very heavily on these Mutalisks. Does have a Hydra stand out, moves a Mutalisk there in the engagement, but he does have a Hydra stand out, so most likely is going to transition to Lurkers alongside. And I think I'm seeing what he's going to go for. He's probably going to transition to this thing, go for Defiler Tick alongside. Flash, meanwhile, is going to try to move out with some of his troops. Going to have to get some sort of damage done. Definitely at least put on some pressure for ZerO to put down some sunken colonies. But ZerO still has a very, very, very large number of Mutalisks. Does lose some Mutalisks here and there, but still forcing those Marines from pushing forward, just sticking in the middle of the map, taking full advantage of the hills and such on the map near the middle side, reinforcing with the Mutalisks as he can. Have some Hydras on the field finally. I'm wondering whether Lurkers are ready or not. Still going to be forced to push back these Marines just with those air units of his. Hydra's not close to being Lurkers quite yet. No second colonies from what I've seen to be put down at that mineral only at the 3 o'clock. Marine group not that huge, so if ZerO manages to micro this properly, just keeping Flash steady at 1 point for now, and I think Lurkers are indeed on the way. Once the Lurkers are on the way, I think that's going to completely push Flash's forces back. No sunken colonies at that mineral only. Flash thinking of going for it, taking still some damage to the Mutalisks, despite doing some damage of his own. Hydra coming in to help engage, but got killed instantly. Not really that many forces. Flash doesn't really have any reinforcements coming in alongside at all. Mutalisks coming in from several sides, some of them getting picked off. Flash going to try to go for this base here. Lurkers are ready though, and he's been, his entire army here is being decimated. When those Lurkers in place, is going to take off all the medics alongside. And ZerO now with a huge economic advantage for bases mining. And Flash's economy has been harassed this entire time. He does have a control tower alongside his starport coming up. He's going to go for science vessels to get rid of those medic Marines. That's second eBay alongside to get those armor upgrades going. But I really don't know what Flash has to play defensively for now. He's been forced to play defensively. Lurkers coming in from the ledge to start attacking these turrets at the natural expansion. That's, of course, very important anti-air defenses. The Flash needs 2 turrets go down to those Lurkers, and he doesn't really have enough forces to engage those Lurkers. 3 Lurkers out there with 1 single scan. If he tries to go in with these medic Marines, he might lose over half of them as he engages those. Now the Mutalisks are going to have almost free reign complete. There is 1 single tank. That might get picked off if Flash is not careful. I'm not quite sure whether they have siege mode or not, or else he would siege off the sides. Science facility, machine shop is spinning, so he's waiting on that siege mode to get rid of those Lurkers. The Mutalisks coming in alongside, just picking off all the forces. Flash in a lot of trouble here, does not have enough anti-air defenses, losing his civies alongside. And his tank, not with siege, can't really do anything to help him out against his Lurkers yet. ZerO, meanwhile, is saturating all of his bases, fully mining everywhere, going for Queen's Nest, so he's going for Hive Tech, is going to go for Defilers alongside to help his Lurkers and make his future Cracklings all that more effective. Still doing very beautiful job off a quick Spiral Lair Tech. Mutalisks coming in again, doing more damage. Finally, Siege Mode ready for the tank. I don't quite think the Mutalisks are going to risk coming in because there is heavily surrounded by those medic Marines. Scans still going off. Tank trying to siege off those, so at least forcing those Lurkers back. Mutalisks still always a threat. 2 tanks now ready for Flash. Hive Tech, meanwhile, on the way for ZerO. And yeah, Flash really has to do, he has to break this. He's already contained inside of his base. He has a few Lurkers there. He does have the tanks to get rid of those, though, and has gotten his medic Marine number, which are 1/1 upgrade at the moment. As soon as that Hive is up, though, the Lurkers are going to have Defilers and Cracklings to support. Mutalisks yet again going in, trying to pick off even more SCVs. Flash is at the very least very heavily saturating both of his bases, but I don't really know how long he can sit on these 2 because ZerO is going to be able to expand all over the map. Soon enough, he might even expand to yet another base, just completely take an absolute map control advantage. There is 1 single science vessel. I'm not quite sure whether Radiate is up and ready for him yet. 1 single Radiate on those Mutalisks, as long as ZerO is not paying attention to it, could be very effective for him. Flash actually interesting enough, moving it a little bit out of his natural expansion, going on this, trying to think of this high ground close to the mineral only. Not quite sure whether he's safe enough to take that base, but there are a lot of Lurkers, a lot of Zerglings, even a lot of Mutalisks out in the field. Well, that science vessel, those Lurkers not going to be as effective, but a lot of Lurkers out in the field. Not enough tanks. Tanks now finally coming in. They're going to move up against these Lurkers, but forces all over the field by ZerO. And I feel Irradiate comes off on the Mutalisks. Quick split by ZerO, so it's not going to do too much damage. But I honestly feel that ZerO might even go for a pincer attack here. Has forces all over the map. Has even more very close to his own mineral only. loses some of his mules. He tries to go in, not quite sure whether he pick something off or not. Flash going to finally surround close to his mineral only. Finally going to pick those lurkers off that were containing that entire mules. Coming almost picking off the siege tank. One more shot that would have finished it off. No SCVs enraged to come in and heal that. So that one tank is very close to death. But ZerO has reinforcement. There you go. A lot of Scourge alongside reinforcement ready at any moment. I'm not even sure if Flash knows about those. Because even if he takes out all of these forces that are threatening just outside of his mineral only, he's going to have a lot more coming in. Defiler Mound on the is up already. So we're going to see Defilers very soon alongside. Lorca's going to come in. Zerglings and Mutas all coming in for a full-blown attack. We're going to see how effective this Scourge coming in alongside. Science Vessels being forced back. One side, so probably going to go down. No, they are going to be prevented, but ZerO still coming in, taking everything out. All the forces of Flash, blood everywhere, despite having lost some of that, lost all of his mutas from what I saw, but Flash loses most of his forces for a full-blown attack, loses some Science Vessels alongside, has almost nothing but a few Medic Marines and one single Science Vessel. ZerO with a full-blown attack, still has enough to reinforce this. Still has a large clump of forces, has one Mutas left in the air, a lot of Lurkers alongside Flash. Gonna try to take his mineral only, but I'm not quite sure if it's... I really don't think it's nearly well enough to defend it for him to keep that going. He just does not have enough force production, does not have a strong enough economy. These Lurkers are going to come in. They're probably going to burrow. There are a couple of Science Vessels that are still going to burrow, come in close. Medic Marines are going to die, kind of standing in a clump. They're allowing the Lurker spine to come in and kill them. Zerglings are coming alongside. No Defiler yet, and I feel as soon as a Defiler comes out, that's going to be it. ZerO's going to take the 6 o'clock Flash and the 12 o'clock. ZerO's going to double expand at this time. Kevin Defiler's out there. A lot of Zerglings alongside his Lurkers, completely transitioning to Defiler Wing Lurker. And as soon as that Defiler comes out, I'm not seeing any chance for Flash to really come back into this game. Doesn't have any tanks. He's going to be forced to produce fire bats, and they're not really going to help him out much, because those Lurkers rip those fire bats to pieces if they come in too close, and if the Lurkers are in a large enough number. His command center also not being allowed to come up, so Flash can't even expand at his new mineral only. Forces funneling, and you can look at the minimap how much red is slowly funneling, and some of it's not even funneling, and ZerO has a lot of backup forces just in case Flash has to go for some funky strategy. Gonna be a Dark Swarm on the ramp. Those forces are gonna be able to run. Another Dark Swarm right close to that. Of course, ZerO very well known for his beautiful Dark Swarm play. Goes for another attack on the north side to the mineral only. Gonna burn now, taking Flash completely off guard. Absolutely beautiful play for him. Flash gonna be flown into a corner. Dark Swarms on all sides. Nothing but Medic Marines everywhere. And Defilers all over the place, eating the Zerglings. GG coming in for Flash. As soon as he saw the kind of trouble he was in, no chance for him to get back. And ZerO even throwing in that double expanded as sort of a hoorah. So he definitely gets himself back into this series. Still has to take one more game from Flash. But Flash, yeah, you can see a look in the face. He's kind of a little bit, okay, took that game from me there. A little bit, kind of a breath out, like, holy crap, he had me there. ZerO looking quite a bit happy. He knows he's one game away. He could really get himself far into this series, playing very impressively there. So we're going to see if he can take one more game from Flash and get himself yet again to a round of 8 in a very good position. So, GG guys, wrenching out. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed. Look forward to the third and deciding set between these two guys.